Hello and welcome back to the ministry. And today we're talking about a controversial topic. Should you get married in a full-on wedding, or should you get married at the courthouse? Now, this is a topic that came to me. I was looking at the article that I wrote about 5 years ago about this, somewhere around August of 2017. And at the time, I had seen a video of a young woman who was talking about her wedding. And she was trying to figure out, should she get married in a courthouse wedding and then wait to consummate her marriage until after the physical wedding ceremony that she was going to have with her family. And I was thinking to myself, no. When you get married, irregardless as to whether you get married before a courthouse judge and witnesses, or whether you get married in the dress in the ceremony in front of family or friends, you still married either way. What happens is, at the courthouse, the paperwork needs to be filed. Now, if you're filing in the same state in which you live in, that's a completely different thing. But the paperwork needs to be filed appropriately, meaning the paper needs to be legally set up. So that, for instance, for all those people that run around, get that gunshot wedding, go all the way to Vegas and sit up there and you get married there, but you don't live there, you have to then go back to the state in which you live, whatever state that is. Whether it's Maryland, whether it's New York, California, wherever it is. It's easier when you're in California because you're right there. But wherever state that you're in, you have to go then file your paperwork to show that you are legally married in that state. Now, from my understanding, if I'm not mistaken, if you get married within the United States, your paperwork covers you throughout all of the 50 states. It's when you get married, let's say, if a person goes to Dominican Republic and gets married, comes back to the United States, if they don't have the paperwork transferred, meaning not only do they come back to the United States, but they have to have the paperwork not just shipped here, but have the court documentation stating that it was sealed as a legalized marriage and documented from being married in the Dominican Republic to come all the way back into the States, ergo of any other state that you get married. Same thing if you have a destination wedding. So what most people do is they go to the courthouse and have all of their marriage paperwork done, signed, and completed, and they have 90 days from the time in which they filed the paperwork at the documentation office in the United States to go off and have the actual wedding done, whatever state, country, Providence, whatever it is. Go into that country, have the wedding, file the paperwork, meaning whoever witnessed, so on, the documentation. I don't know whether they take a document directly from that courthouse to that location and then send it back, or when they come back, bring that back and file it at that actual court location. But either way, it's filed. The point being, at the end of the day, the paperwork needs to be filed for wherever you get married at. Most people don't like the idea of doing a marriage in that format because it's a filing thing, and people don't see the beauty of paperwork. Oh, let's go to the courthouse. Oh, let's get the paperwork. Oh, let's sign all of these documents. Oh, let's have witnesses, so on and so forth. You dressed like however you was dressed when you walked in there, and when you walked out, you're both married. But what happened to the party and the dress and the suits and the this and the hold up 1 second. Did you get married because you wanted to have a show, or did you get married because you were in love with the person that you were marrying? Was it a legal business opportunity, or was it a actual, because there are people that get married legally for business transactional reasons. But there are also people that get married that way because they're like, look, I don't want to deal with the other part. We can get married in 5 minutes. If we go over to the courthouse, take care of it, and it's done. That saves you all of the stress of inviting all your family, waiting for your family to come in town, having everybody show up, having to rent a venue, having to have all these flowers, having to have all of these guests, having to hire a caterer, having to feed everybody, they say that the feeding of the people is the most expensive part of a wedding, period. Because depending on what you are ordering to have the people fed, that is outside of a regular chicken or steak dinner, makes all the difference in the world. So what exactly are you doing is the question. I watched a video about 3 to 4 months ago where a man was talking about everybody was tripping because this woman got married. I don't think they even spent $200 on their wedding. She bought her dress, they had whatever the clothes was that they were wearing, and they went off to a off the highway strip location that they could get some really beautiful photos over a mountainous area that looked beautiful. They had about 5 to 10 really important guests to them, and that was it. That was all. There was enough people there that if they really wanted to have dinner, they could all just go together to a buffet if they wanted to have dinner. But at the most, what ended up happening is everybody ended up bringing their own food. They ate together, they drank, and they enjoyed themselves. The people that were supposed to be there were there, and the people that were meant to be there, pray for them, and be around them in that experience were surrounding them in that moment, and that was it. They ain't have no big to-do wedding that cost them for the next 3 years of them paying down payments on a wedding. They just got married. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, why am I getting married? Am I getting this big old wedding because I want to have something that looks pretty and the photo op and all that kind of stuff, when you can actually have that done later? Sometimes that may actually be something that you should do after a year of being married, because of the fact that, did you make it through that first year? Because they say that first year is the hardest year that you will ever experience in your marriage, because you are adjusting to being married. You're adjusting to them, they're adjusting to you, and you're coming into alignment and agreement with each other that you can be together. And within that year, then get married. Have an actual physical wedding or commitment ceremony in front of your family and friends to celebrate the fact that you made it through that first year. Or just go to the courthouse. Going to the courthouse, standing before the court, filing your paperwork. Because at the end of the day, nobody is in your marriage but you and the person that you are married to. And the only thing about the white wedding dress, suit, tux thing is maybe you should have some photos. And at the end of the day, if that's all you really want, you can buy a dress and they can buy a suit, or even rent one and have a photo shoot done for their marriage. and have the photos done later. If you're that pressed about having pictures done. What is it that is the most important for you? Is it the wedding or the marriage? Because the marriage is what's going to sustain you. And if it's about having all these people around you, let me tell you something. We're Christians here. I'm assuming that a majority of us are. You need to have the understanding about the people that you have in your wedding party. People that you have sitting in front of you at your wedding. It says in your word that in Psalms 23 and 5 that I will make a table before you in the presence of your enemies. Understand that the people that are sitting at your wedding, not everybody wants you married. Not everybody wants you married to the person that you married to. Not everybody wants to see you or them happy. Not everybody on your side of the family, not everybody on their side of the family. There's some people that will sit up there and curse you because they weren't invited to the wedding. And some people are sitting there and curse you because of the fact that you got married at all. There's some people that sit up there and curse you because you married up. There's some people that will sit there and curse you because of the fact that they see you thriving now that you've hit a point in your life, hit a point in your success, hit a point in what it is that you are set forward to do. Because when you got married, things started to look up for you. There's some people that have been cursing you from the time you was born in hopes you never made it to that day. Because see, there's something that comes with getting married. When you get married, there's an element of security that covers you in spiritual storms as you pray for them and they pray for you. There's an element of financial security covering, not because they are paying for everything and they are covering you financially. No. There's an attachment that comes that spiritually and financially, you two of you become one. So the things that you put your hands to that you may have been struggling with, that you couldn't figure out why in the world this thing wasn't working right, that once you become attached to the person that you're ordained, only ordained, not just anybody, that you're ordained to be attached to, that when you come to alignment with the person you're ordained to be attached to and financially secured by, that when you come in contact with them, you could have 15 things that had financial stability written all over them that you could not get to move not an inch. The second you became married to somebody that was financially stable, for some reason all these 15 things started to run like clockwork, and you started to bring in money financially because there was a covering there to cover your money. And you started to make streams of income that were covering you, your family, and everything that you did, your legacy from you just got married. That's all you did. And the enemy does not like that. He will speak word curses through your family members. He will come against your ability to have clear thought processes, doubt, fears, frustration. You will end up in arguments, warfare on all of this. There's two logics that are literally being spoken at this particular point in time, and I see it all the time. Where there's one set of theory where, oh, you're going to get married and you're going to have a good marriage and you are going to have a peaceful marriage and God is going to bless that marriage and it's not going to be what you have seen. And then there's that secondary set of thought process that says, oh, you're going to go into warfare the second that you get married and you're going to be going through hell and high water just to maintain what it is that the Lord said that you were supposed to have, because you got to fight through your spouse's spiritual warfare. You got to fight through your own spiritual warfare. You got to heal from the things that you need healing from. You got to go through this, that, and the other thing, and all of these types of things. And you have to walk through all of these things, and it's enough to make you feel like, why did I get married in the first place? Why am I here? Why did I get married? Why did I want to get married in the first place? Because you are adjusting to this other person, and that other person is adjusting to you, your habits, your things, the things that you do, the way that you push. They begin to understand you, and as they either begin to help you or pull back, it's that element of how can you be a blessing to one another? What are you doing as a blessing to one another? Because this is what marriage is about. It's about how you bless one another. It's not about always, what can I get from you? How can I be a blessing to you? How can I be a blessing for this marriage? It ain't about white dresses and tuxedos. That is one day. Just one day out of years of your life. And some people will turn around, and every 5 to 10 years they'll turn around and they'll do it again. They'll get dressed. They'll do it all over again, just to celebrate with family and friends that they've reached that milestone of the 5-year, the 10-year, the 20-year, 25-year. And if you blessed enough to live 50 years, the 50 years. It's a blessing. And they say that men that get married are more likely to live 8 years longer than a man that isn't married. But you have to understand what you're doing. Are you getting married for the wedding? White wedding, venues, beauty, invitations, receptions, all of this. Show off your friends and family. Or are you getting married for the fact that you and this person are in love with each other, and you understand that it's more important for the two of you to be married than for everybody to remain witness because you want to show off? With that, you should probably know the answer to that situation, because it ain't about a white wedding. You can have a white wedding whenever you feel like it, whenever you got the money to do it. And there are a lot of people that are foregoing this super expensive wedding. As a young woman that I follow, she just got married to her husband about a year and a half ago, and when they got married, she bought a $25 dress, and they went to church and had an officiant perform their wedding. It was only the two of them because due to restrictions, due to what the world has been going through, they couldn't have all these people at their wedding. So it was the two of them, and then I think it was a few people that were in attendance from the church. And that was it. Their family saw the pictures later. What's more important? What goes on between you and this particular person, because it's between you and this particular person anyway. Your struggles, your strife, your health, your this, your that, your money, your finances, all of this is between you and this particular person. It's not between you and everybody else. And depending on how affluent the person is that you marry, because some of y'all gonna be marrying some affluent people, some people that are higher embarking people. A lot of your family only gonna want to be there because they got the ability to say that they were part of the optics, to be able to say, I was in a same photo with such and such and such and stuff. They wasn't trying to be there because they was trying to be there. They were trying to be there because they wanted to be in pictures. When their person, meaning when their family is like, We not pressed regardless, because their family don't really care that much, because they know that person. To them, they family. No, nobody think about that. It ain't no big deal. It's your people that would be looking like, oh my God, what did you do? Baby, you ready? You understand what I'm saying? So what's more important? Big or small? Taking your time or doing it quickly? Where is your heart? What is your desire? What do you want? At the end of the day, what is more important? Is it more important for you to receive and perceive what it is that you get by meeting some type of external appearance because it looks pretty and that you got photos? You can get photos anytime. Anytime you can get photos. You can go and buy you a dress. You can buy you a nice looking dress. They can rent or put on one of their nicest suits, and you can set up for a photography moment, photograph moment, anywhere. And it'd probably be cheaper because you wouldn't have to get a venue. You would just have to get the location in which you wanted to take the pictures at together. Not for invitations, but just for your wedding. Now you can send the pictures out to your family and friends. Oh, well, yeah, we got married. Just to be able to have photos to represent your wedding. But it's not that important about having the big thing. You and the person can go out to dinner whenever you want to. You can go get married, dress up, and go to dinner. And celebrate that night together. And it might actually be cheaper because you can enjoy yourself, because you can then go to dinner, get your cake, whatever you're going to do, go out to the club, do whatever you're going to do, and enjoy yourself together, and then go enjoy your honeymoon night. If you're going to go on vacation, that's what a lot of people will do. They'll go to the courthouse and then spend all their money on their vacation. Which to me, I think is more important, especially depending on what you want to do. Do you want a 2-week vacation? Do you want a 4-week vacation? Some people can have a 4-week vacation if they don't spend all that money on their wedding. Do something that you really wanted to do. Go to Paris. Enjoy Paris for an entire month. Enjoy the food. Enjoy the scenery, the food, the environment, the lights, all that kind of stuff. Maybe go to 2 or 3 different locations. Go to Turks and Caicos. Go to this place. Go to that place. Spend a week here, week there, week there, and week there. And enjoy yourself. But what's most important to you? Is it the wedding? Or is it the time together? Because sometimes it may just be that you need to spend the time together. That you need to begin to figure out how you're going to build your life together. How you're going to operate together in a marriage. Together. People focus too much energy on things that are not really relevant or as important as focusing their energy on what's important. How you're going to operate your household. How you're going to take care of the household. How you're going to cover a family. How you're going to combine assets if you have assets to combine. All of these types of things. Building, growing. A wedding isn't as important. It's a moment in a memory book. that you don't particularly need to have set up that way. You could save more money doing a photo shoot at a venue chosen by each of you to take your pictures at. You dress well and have a great set of pictures that you later send to the family. But you can get married at a courthouse. That's a What is your desire? What's most important? It's just some food for thought. I'm not going to keep you, but it was on my mind, and this was actually an article that I was going to bring as a point, and for those of us that are preparing for kingdom marriage, what's important. I'm going to bring this point. Elisa Marie did a video where she was talking, and it's not only her, I've heard several people mention this, that some people aren't going to sit up there and have major, massive weddings. They are going to get married like that. They going to get an outfit, they going to go to the courthouse, they going to get married. If it is meant to be a wedding, maybe the spouse is going to set it up. Because I've seen a lot of cases, and you can go and look up these videos on YouTube, because I was looking at them last year, where the ordained spouse, they sat up there, set the engagement up, they set the wedding up, they invited everybody, and then the day that they asked them to marry them, they set them up to set them off to go get ready, and they got married the same day. Same day, same time, in front of everybody. Everybody was there, just like that, and it was done. Some of y'all gonna have weddings like that. Some of y'all just gonna get married at the courthouse, and it's gonna be it. And maybe later you'll have a commencement ceremony or a commitment ceremony. But that's gonna be that. It's not a necessity to spend all that money. If you want those people there, if it's important for you to have them, then the person that needs them to be there, then okay. If you have had a discussion, or you've discussed what would happen if it was your wedding, you would know who's supposed to be there. But sometimes it's a scenario of, if you're going to let people and their decision whether they want to be there, they don't want to be there, this, that, and the other, and some people, they agree, they don't agree, so on and so forth. You want that drama at your wedding? I wouldn't. I would have it done and it'd be over with. You figure it out later, and if you don't agree with it, oh, that's just too bad. We already married. Okay. You do what you need to do when you need to do it, and then when it happened, it happened. You enjoy what you have. Let your will be done. Let the will of the Lord be done to lead you into the ordinance of what God has for you. And you walk into it. It is what it is. But don't allow family, friends, and scenarios to block you from being able to walk into the thing that the Lord is trying to take you into, because, I need to have my family there, and we need to have the big wedding and the white dress and the venue and the flowers, and that's money that you don't need to spend if you don't need to. Go to the courthouse and get married. Take some pictures later. Have an event, commencement, whatever. Do some photos. Be a lot cheaper. Now, hey, sometimes the groom wants that to happen. Sometimes it's not the bride. Sometimes it is the groom. The groom is like, I got family. He's been waiting for me to do this for years. So it's like, okay, if that's what they want, then do the wedding. But I'm assuming that you're planning to plan it then, because and in some cases they do. It is what is desired. but let the scenario work itself out. What's most important to you? Make that determination and operate from that place. So, this is Taj McCameron for the ministry. Until next time, much love, faith, peace, and blessings. Bye bye.